Mahusiano ni kushirikiana.
Mahusiano ni kufahamiana.
Mahusiano ni ujamaa.
Mahusiano ni upendo.
Mahusiano ni maelewano.
Mahusiano ni maridhiano.
Mahusiano ni gharama.
Mahusiano ni kila kitu.
Kama tulivyosikia, kila mtu ana mtazamo wake wa mahusiano ni nini. Ambacho hakipingiki ni kwamba mahusiano ni muhimu katika maisha ya kila binadamu. Pamoja na hilo, wataalamu na watafiti mbalimbali wamethibitisha kwamba mahusiano yasiyo na afya ni miongoni mwa vihatarishi vya kupata changamoto ya afya ya akili na kupata magonjwa ya akili kama vile sonona. Katika msimu huu wa Mental Glow, tutaenda kuelimisha kuhusu changamoto mbalimbali za mahusiano zinazoathiri afya zetu za akili na jinsi ya kukabiliana nazo. Please tune in. Hello Mental Glowers, karibu katika msimu wetu wa pili wa Mental Glow, ambapo lengo kuu ni kuongelea kuhusu mahusiano na jinsi haya mahusiano kama ni ya kifamilia, kimapenzi, kirafiki, kikazi yanavyohusiana na afya zetu za akili. Kama ni mara yako ya kwanza kabisa kusikiliza Mental Glow, tafadhali ungana nasi kupitia Twitter and Instagram account @mentalglowtz, na kama una swali lolote au unataka kujua zaidi kuhusiana na Mental Glow, tafadhali usisite kututafuta au kututumia direct message @mentalglowtz. Karibu kwenye kipindi chetu cha 7 katika msimu wetu wa pili wa Mental Glow with Jacqueline Owden, ambapo tukiongea zaidi kuhusu mahusiano, ni kwa jinsi gani tutatoka na mahusiano bora na familia, ndugu, jamaa na marafiki, na tukiangazia zaidi changamoto mbalimbali za mahusiano ambazo zinaweza zikaathiri afya zetu za akili, na ni kwa jinsi gani tunaweza tukadeal na hizo changamoto na kujali afya zetu za akili. So karibu sana katika msimu huu wetu wa pili, na kama ni mara yako ya kwanza kabisa kusikiliza Mental Glow, tafadhali ungana nasi kupitia social media at Instagram and X page. I wanted to say Twitter, but then X it is. And X page @mentalglowtz. Na kama una swali lolote au unataka kujua zaidi kuhusiana na Mental Glow ni nini, Mental Glow tunaongea kuhusu vitu gani, tafadhali usisite tafuta au kututumia direct message on Instagram or even email our social media and handles, and how easily you can reach to us. It's very open, so just please do not hesitate tafuta au kututumia message. So yeah, so before we get into this episode, I would like to take this moment kumshukuru Mungu first. I just want to say thank you to God publicly. And also there are 2 things that I want to share with you guys that I'm grateful for. Actually 3. Yeah. So first, I just want to say thank you so much to my team, Mental Glow team. Ni watu ni wa tofauti, ni wa pekee. Mungu abariki mno for investing your time, investing your energy and resources to Mental Glow, ili tuweze tukafikia watu wengi sana. And secondly, your girl is finally a graduate of the University of Dar es Salaam. Yay! Namshukuru Mungu sana. Imekuwa ni miaka 3 and miaka 3 ya kujifunza, miaka 3 ya kuanguka, but most importantly, I wouldn't have made it to this point without you guys, without my family, friends, and you, basically, because you never know how you can impact a person's life just by being there. So, and through this Mental Glow podcast, imenisaidia sana kufika hapa nilipo, so namshukuru sana Mungu. So yeah, I've been awarded a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology degree of the University of Dar es Salaam, and it's a really, it's a milestone for me, and I have no clue what the future may hold, but namshukuru sana Mungu. It's also a great opportunity kwangu mimi kama mwana psychologia. It feels good to say this. Kwangu mimi kama mwana psychologia, reach out to my people because I'm really passionate about this, and I also feel like it's an opportunity to also invest more of my time to learn kujifunza, kujifunza hakuna mwisho. So kujifunza zaidi, and also to, you know, because ninacho share katika hii podcast, it's not just something that I've invented in my head. Hapana, ni research based. So I want to learn more. I want to get to hear more from you guys, most importantly. Lakini namshukuru Mungu sana kwa nafasi hii, and yeah, I'm so excited for the future. And yeah, right now this podcast is being hosted by a legit psychologist. Anyway, so the third thing ni kwamba I'm super grateful kwamba our podcast, Mental Glow podcast, has been featured in FeedSpot Top 25 South Africa Inspirational Podcast, ambapo Mental Glow imechukua nafasi ya 10. Yay! Yeah, so that's first, and second pia tumechukua nafasi ya 15 South Africa Mental Health Podcast. Actually, no, katika top 15 South African Mental Health Podcast, Mental Glow imechukua nafasi ya 4. So tumechukua nafasi ya 10 katika Inspirational Podcast, and nafasi ya 4 katika South Africa Mental Health Podcast. So thank you so much to FeedSpot for this recognition, and nashukuru pia kwa nyinyi kwa kuchukua muda kusikiliza, kwa kuengage na sisi. You guys are really amazing, and I am so grateful for your existence, and for also investing your time and energy to tune in. So asante sana, thank you so much. It means a lot. It does, and it really means a lot kwa sababu it even motivates us sisi kama Mental Glow kuwa na ile, you know, the energy and the excitement to do research, to create content, kwa sababu jamani creating content sio kazi rahisi. It takes a lot. So thank you so much. Asante sana. Naweza nikasema asante until the episode ends. So let me just end here, and I just want you guys to know that we are grateful and thankful for your support, and we look forward kwamba Mental Glow itafikia watu wengi sana 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 sana, na sio Tanzania pekee lakini hata nchi nyingine. So yeah, so that being said, let's get back to this episode. So katika msimu wetu wa pili tumekuwa tukiongea zaidi kuhusu mahusiano. Episode iliyopita tumeongelea kuhusu mental transformation, how can we transform our mindset and for us to grow in relationship especially. So kama hujasikiliza episode iliyopita, episode ya 6 au 26, ukiinclude msimu wa kwanza na msimu wetu wa pili, inakuwa ni episode ya 26, lakini for this season ni episode ya 6. So kama hujasikiliza episode 26, tafadhali go back and listen. Utajifunza vitu vingi sana kutoka kwa Olainka. And kwa hiyo episode hii, before we get into it, first I just want to say this is my first episode recording in Zanzibar. I just moved to Zanzibar, and this is my first episode recording, and I have no guest. I'm just alone, so this is just going to be me in this episode as a psychologist. So also looking forward kwamba I will reach out to more people here and get to learn from them. I know there are different experts that are willing to share their experience, share their expertise, share their knowledge with you guys. So nina tumaini kwamba nitapata kujifunza vitu vingi sana kutoka kwa watu wengi hapa, na pia nyinyi pia mtapata kujifunza vitu vingi kutoka kwa watu wengi hapa na kutoka kwangu mimi. And most importantly, we're going to learn from each other. So don't hesitate to share your experiences, comments, you know, your feedback. Jamani, feedback ina matter sana kwa sababu tutajuaje kwamba it's working if you're not giving your feedback. So tafadhali, please feed us, you know, feed us up. Give us your feedback, yo. Anyways, so back to it, I just want to say thank you, and also for the potential guest who are hapa Zanzibar. And if you know someone here, kindly naomba just recommend a person so that I can reach out to them. And also, like, getting back to this episode, I'll be talking about misconceptions about love. Yeah, this episode has been imekuwa inspired na this book that I'm currently reading. Inaitwa The Road Less Traveled by Dr. Scott Peck. He's a psychiatrist, and this book, kama hujawahi kukisoma kitabu The Road Less Traveled, you really have to read it. I mean, if you want to learn more about love and relationships and how to relate with people, this is a must read. So, katika kitabu chake, there is a lot in this book, but one part ambayo imekuwa very interesting to me, he was talking about love and akaangazia pia misconceptions about love. Zipo nyingi sana. Yeye katika kitabu ameongelea one of the misconceptions ni kwamba falling in love, it is a misconception. Watu wengi tumedhani kwamba mtu ukifall in love, it's love, but it happens not to be love. Interesting, right? So, falling in love, another misconception ni kwamba love is dependency, and the third one is love is a feeling. Love is not a feeling, my friend. So katika hii episode tutaongea misconceptions hizo mbili, so tatu. I won't be talking about falling in love. I'll be talking about two of them. The first ambayo ni love is dependency, and the second ni kwamba love is a feeling. Those two ni misconceptions. So, kwa kwanza na dependency, kwa lugha nyepesi, when you say that you're depending on someone, unamtegemea mtu. So, wengi tumekuwa tukidhani kwamba ukimpenda mtu au kwamba mapenzi yanahusisha kuwa tegemezi au kutegemea. Actually, Kiswahili ni kigumu sana, but I'll try. Mapenzi kwamba dependency, tegemeo, kutegemea. So love is not dependency. Dr. Scott anasema kwamba, so how he defines dependency ni kwamba ni ile inability to experience wholeness. Mtu unakuwa how experience kwamba you're complete and you're whole when ni kamilifu. Au unaweza function, ukawa productive, unaweza kuleta matokeo katika jamii bila, unaweza kuleta matokeo katika jamii bila kujua kwamba, kuwa na uhakika kwamba mtu anakujali au mtu cares for you. So I'll just say it in English not to confuse you guys. So anasema kwamba dependency is the inability to experience wholeness or to function adequately without the certainty that one is being actively cared for by another. So kuna watu wengi sana ambao wanahisi kwamba the way he depends or she depends on someone, it means that for that person is love. I depend on you, without you I cannot live. Kuna wale watu wanasema I cannot live with that person, siwezi kuishi bila huyu mtu, my life with this person is meaningless, haileti maana. You've defined yourself based on that relationship, based on that person's existence. So for him anasema that is not love, that is not love. Anasema that is parasitism. Wow, right? So for him anasema kwamba based on his experience, based on him working with different clients and the cases ambazo amekutana nazo kwenye different sessions, anasema kwamba love is not dependency, and if you think kama unahisi kwamba dependency ni love, then it's not, bali ni parasitism. Wengi tunajua kwamba parasites wakoje. Yani parasite hawezi kuishi bila a living being, right? Ana feed kutoka kwa mtu au kutoka so if you feel like you can't live without a person, then what that is, you're not loving that person, but you're being a parasite, right? You're feeding from that person. You're taking all the energy, everything from that person. So no matter how much we think kwamba we love people, so just take a moment. As you're listening, I just want you to take a moment and think or just reflect. Like, how many times have you thought au umefikiria kwamba I love this person, you know, like my life won't be meaningful without this person, au maisha yangu atakuwa yamevurugwa, you know, bila huyu mtu. So just take a moment and think about it, like how many times umedhani hivyo, and then try also to grasp what I'm trying to communicate here, kwamba it's not love, it's parasitism. Kwa sababu, how can you say that you love somebody while you okay, so like for him anasema kwamba for you to be able to love another person, you need to first love yourself, right? And that is hiyo bila kubisha inapita, imeshaenda hiyo. So you need to be able to love another person, and for you to wholly or genuinely love someone, you need to be in a state kwamba, okay, I can live without you, but I'm willing to live with you because I love you. Yani ninakupenda, lakini haimaanishi siwezi kuishi bila wewe, ila I choose to live with you because I love you. Anasema love is a choice, right? So you choose to live with the person because you love them, but you cannot choose to live with a person because you cannot live with that person. You do not choose to love a person because you cannot live with that person. So for him, anasema kwamba love is not dependency. Love is free will. Love is being able to recognize that that person is a separate entity. Ni mtu wa tofauti kabisa. He's a different person. He has his own desires. He has his own interests. He has his own life, you know. But you are able to take that in and know kwamba we are different people, but I am willing to share this journey with you, right? I can live on my own. Lakini I choose to do this thing called relationship or called commitment with you. So whenever you feel like you're depending on someone and then you're calling it love, you know, that's not love. That's just you being a parasite. Because at some point, I've been going through X today, and there's this psychologist akasema kwamba tunawapenda watu ambao tunahitaji vitu kutoka kwao, right? And then once we get hivyo vitu kutoka kwao, then tunaacha kuwapenda, right? So how many times have you felt that you love someone, but in reality you do not love that person? You just need something from that person, and once you get that thing, then you're like, I don't. So saa nyingine it's not love, it's just dependency. Tuna depend vitu kutoka kwa huyo mtu, and we want things from them, so we feel like it's love, but in reality it's not love, it's just parasitism. Love is a free will. Love is a choice. Choosing to love, choosing to to live with someone, to be in a committed relationship with someone. So yeah, and that's what gets us to our second misconception, ambayo anasema kwamba love is not a feeling. Because most people wanahisi kwamba love is a feeling. So for him anasema love is not a feeling, love is an action. Mapenzi, upendo actually upendo, love so mapenzi, love ni upendo. I've been saying mapenzi, I'm so sorry, it's love ni upendo. Upendo ni vitendo, it's an activity. Wengi tunaishia kusema love is a feeling, but I feel loved, but love ni action. Love is an activity, right? So he says that when someone feels, most of the time tunakuwa na ile feeling ambapo mwisho wa siku inatupelekea sisi kuact in a loving way, ambapo that loving way may be in a manner of unloving and destructive way. Sometimes we feel that we love someone, and in response to that feeling, we act in all manner of unloving and destructive ways. Kuna watu ambao wanasema I love this person, but then that person and the way he acts is different na kile ambacho anakisema, right? In all unloving ways necessary, in all destructive ways. So love is not a feeling, love is an action. I am able to know that you love me if you act in a loving way, right? Kuna watu ambao wanasema I love you but anafanya kitu kingine. So love is just not a is not a feeling, it is an action, and people or someone is able to know that you genuinely love him or her by how you act, right? So he also went further. He went further, saying that when we are able to be concerned for our partner's spiritual growth, and then when we know that a lack of commitment is likely to be harmful, then we choose to do that, or to be committed to that person, and that's love. And it's love kwa sababu tuna act, we commit, and then we also are concerned with that person's spiritual growth. We ask, we take part in that person's growth. So that's an action, But then if you feel like it's a feeling, then it's a moment thing, right? It's momentary and it's fleeting. So and it can also involve sexual consummation. So for him, anasema love is not a feeling, it's an action. Because this feeling comes when we find, kwa sababu anasema kwamba this feeling inatokea pale ambapo we value something or we find something important. Anasema most people, when they find something important, they end up feeling love, right? Let's say you find an object important. I find that object important, and so I feel like I love that feeling. But in reality, you do not love, you just find that something important. But then when you don't find that something important, then you stop loving, you stop feeling love for that object or person. So he calls that a cathexis, where he says it's an act of finding something or an object important. An object becomes important to us, and when we find an object important, we end up feeling love. But at times, we usually stop finding that object important, and then we stop feeling that love. And this even leads to us objectifying the importance to people. Tuna affect watu. And then we find people important, and then tuna relate that feeling na love. So most importantly, unaweza ukasema kwamba you have a friend, or somebody, and that person really is important to you, and then instead of being able to distinguish kwamba this person is just important to me, tunapelekea kusema kwamba huyu mtu nampenda. it's just a feeling, right? So, and then you say that you feel that, but the way you act it's totally different. So love is not a feeling. Love is an action. You being able to know, to feel, and also able to act, be committed, be concerned, that person's spiritual growth. So those two things really, I thought like, okay, this episode specifically, I want to share it with my listeners and just let me know what you think. I know I haven't been able to like kuelezea deeply what it means. It's really hard explaining, but at some point I've tried my best, like explaining these two things: dependency and love is a feeling. Love is not a feeling. Love is an action. Love is not dependency, right? Love is being able to love is when two people who love each other and they are quite capable of living without each other but choose to live with each other. So yeah. And also love is a free exercise of choice. So take a moment, reflect that as we go on break before we get back and get to a point where we talk more about mental health problems that result when we misconceive love, right? So let's go.
Tunaishi katika zama za kasi ambapo watu wana majukumu mengi na mara nyingi husahau na wengine hupuuza umuhimu wa kupunguza mwendo na kujali afya zao za akili. Usiwe na wasiwasi. Tahmef imeleta suluhisho la kubadilisha maisha yako popote ulipo, ambalo ni program ya ahadi inayokupa urahisi wa kupata msaada wa kisaikolojia.
Hebu nikueleze baadhi ya vipengele vyake bora. Ya kwanza ni helpline au msaada. Ukiwa una maswali yoyote au unahitaji msaada kuhusu jinsi ya kutumia program hii, helpline itakusaidia kutatua maswala yako. Ya pili ni therapy au tiba ya kisaikolojia. Katika hii unapata fursa ya kuhifadhi kipindi cha tiba ya kisaikolojia, iwe ya mtu binafsi, kwa wanandoa au kwa ajili ya mtoto wako kulingana na upatikanaji wako. Ya tatu ni jarida au journal. Kupitia uandishi unaweza kuelezea hisia zako, kutambua mifumo na kufuatilia maendeleo yako kwa wakati. Ya nne ni community au jumuiya. Ahadi inakupa mazingira ambayo unaweza kushiriki au kuelezea experience yako bila hukumu yoyote au judgment yoyote.
Mimi mwenyewe natumia ahadi na imekuwa msaada mkubwa kwangu. Ikiwa unakabiliwa na mafadhaiko ya kila siku au unatafuta kuimarisha afya yako ya akili, programu hii itakuwa rafiki yako wa karibu.
Kwa hivyo usisubiri tena, tembelea Play Store na upakue Ahadi application ambayo ni AHADI na ufanye afya yako ya akili kuwa ya kuahidi kama jina lenyewe, Ahadi. Welcome back. So Dr. Scott anasema kwamba the genuine lover always perceives the beloved as someone who has a totally separate identity. So failure to this, it may lead to mental illness, right? So when you fail kujua kwamba Jacqueline ni mtu wa tofauti, Jacqueline is not part of me, yani mimi na Jacqueline sio kitu kimoja au sio mtu mmoja. When you fail to identify that, it may lead to mental illness, especially in relationships, right? So for him, anasema, a genuine lover always perceives the beloved as someone who has a totally separate identity and is also able to appreciate that. But if you fail to do it, then it may lead to mental illness, right? So let's get to talk about, I just want to talk about two. One is depression, and second is anxiety, right? Starting with depression. When you know, or when you know kwamba love is a dependency, and so you depend on that person. And when it reaches the time when you break up with that person, that's when you say, my life is meaningless. I want to end this. I am nothing without this person. I am useless. My life is worthless. Haina maana. Siwezi kuishi bila huyu mtu. Sipendwi, you know? And you don't get help kutoka kwa watu. Mwisho wa siku inakupelekea unaweza kupata sonona. You're depressed, right? So when you misconceive love, inaweza ikakupelekea wewe ukapata magonjwa ya akili. I'm not saying kwamba ni lazima, hapana, inaweza ikakupelekea ukapata magonjwa ya akili. Based on Dr. Scott's experience with working with different clients and as different clients alikuwa akiwasaidia, ameweza kugundua kwamba wengi changamoto ilikuwa ni nini, having these misconceptions, and wengi wao waliishia kupata magonjwa ya akili kwa sababu walishindwa kufahamu mapenzi ni nini. Na hii ukija kuangalia mwisho wa siku unakuta based on their own personal experiences, mwisho wa siku akaja ikapelekea kufika kwenye hiyo hatua. So when you fail to identify or fail to recognize kwamba upendo ni nini, then it may lead wewe kupata changamoto za akili na mwisho wa siku kupata magonjwa ya akili. So you may end up being depressed. You may end up isolating yourself. Unaanza kujitenga na watu, dalili zote za depression, you know. So it's important, ni muhimu sana pale ambapo unapitia hizi changamoto kupata msaada kwa mwanasaikolojia, tiba au mnasihi. So depression is there. Ina affect watu wengi sana. Watu wengi wanaweza siongelee, lakini changamoto nyingi za mahusiano zinapelekea watu kupata sonona. Na ukija kuangalia ndio unakuta kama hivi mtu anashindwa kuji-identify as a separate entity. Amejidefine herself based on that relationship. So anapokuja kuachana na mtu anaona kwamba ana lose ile sense of self, right? So when you lose sense of self, mwisho siku unaishia kupata sonona, unakuwa depressed kwa sababu you have no clue who you are, what you should do with your life, right? Because you're not together with that person. So this is really ni changamoto, and we're talking, Mental Glow is talking about this because we want people to be able to understand kwamba love is not dependency, love is not a feeling, and when you're able to know that, then itakusaidia wewe pia unapoingia katika mahusiano. Inaweza this episode maybe sana kwenye mahusiano ya kimapenzi, lakini inaweza hata sio ikawa kwenye hiyo aspect, inaweza hata kwenye kifamilia, you know. When you're able to know that, itakusaidia wewe hata unapoingia katika mahusiano kujua kwamba okay, it doesn't mean kwamba mimi namtegemea huyu mtu katika kila kitu. I can function as an individual separately, na kuwa productive, you know, and there are things that we can share with this person, right? So you being able to know that you don't have to depend on that person in everything. Kwa sababu hata ujui huyo mtu unayemdepend, your partner, naye ana experience vitu gani ambavyo vinaweza become overwhelmed because you're always depending on him, right, or her. So love is not a dependency. You being able to recognize that and being able to know, itakusaidia sana hata mtakapokuja kuachana. I'm not wishing for that, but mtakapokuja kuachana, you being able to accept that and also move on. I'm super excited for the next coming episodes. Maybe the next or next that we'll be talking about dealing with breakups. So yeah, please keep on tuning in and stay connected with different updates kutoka Mental Glow. So yeah, getting back to this, depression is likely to impact your life if you're not able to identify yourself as a separate entity with your partner, right? So another one, which is anxiety. When you're feeling like you're so depending on someone, or when you feel like love is a feeling, right? You're likely to be anxious kwamba okay, siwezi kuishi bila huyu mtu, but then you're like atakuja kuniacha, sio ataniacha lini jamani, huyu mtu ataweza kaniacha muda wote, you know, how am I going to live without? You're always anxious, just thinking like what's going to happen, what's not going to happen, what's going to happen wrong, you know. So you're always anxious, unakuwa na hofu iliyopitiliza. So all these things inaweza kukupelekea wewe kupata anxiety. And so nyingine unaweza kufikiria hata vitu ambavyo havipo. Atakuwa sijui sehemu fulani, sijui, you know, because you always want that person to be there. You always want your life to be connected with that person. You always want to, and sometimes you may end up act in a disruptive way where you think that it is love, but it's not love, but you're just acting in a disruptive way. And mwisho siku muumiza partner wako pia, ndio pale unapokuta kwamba mtu anakuambia this is not working for me, and you're like this person is not sio anachokifanya so vizuri kwa sababu I've been showing love, but the way you think that you've been showing love has not really been love to that person, right? Kwa sababu you've been acting in a disruptive way, and so you being able to understand kwamba love doesn't involve that, then it is really going to help you to function well kwenye mahusiano yako. So those two, I've been reading and I did research based on this book. I had to also like dig deep and also see like what are some of the mental health problems that may be caused misconceptions about love, and there are so many. But then I just wanted to talk about this too. Kuwa na anxiety na kuwa na depression, kwa sababu wengi tunakuta katika jamii yetu ya Kitanzania, wengi wanakuwa na hii kitu kwamba siwezi kuishi bila huyu mtu, maisha yangu hayana maana kama huyu mtu hayupo. Lakini unakuta mwisho wa siku ni kwamba anadhani kwamba anampenda huyu mtu, or maybe in total honesty invest kwenye maisha ya mtu, you know. But then it's all about it all goes back to what started like for you. Was it love, like genuine love, or was it just dependency, or was it just a feeling? Or you thought another misconception about tujaongelea katika hii episode, which is falling in love, or maybe you thought that falling in love is love, which is not. Then what was it that led to that? This is an open discussion, and I would like to hear more from you, right? And which is why tumefungua a WhatsApp group where we get to learn from each other. So it's going to be a really interesting thing kujifunza kutoka kwa watu wengine. And this episode, as I said before earlier, it's based on a book ambayo The Road Less Traveled, and it really happened to be really interesting to me. Nikasema, why not share with my listeners, right? Like what Dr. Scott has tried to communicate based on his experience. And what do you guys think based on your experience? Is love a feeling? Is love an action? Is love dependency, right? Is love falling in love? Is falling in love love, right? So I want us to talk about this, and I want us to learn before we get to another episode where we talk what love is. Love has been, defining love has been going on for centuries. People have been defining love, and there are so many definitions out there, so many perspectives out there, and at some point kuna wengine wanna define love based on their experience, as people have been defining relationship based on their experience. So it's just out there. I think at some point people attribute things based on their experience. So super excited for this. I'm super excited for this discussion, and I also share my my views or my comments from this book. And I would recommend that you really take time to find this book, as Dr. Scott and I discussed the nature of loving relationships. So it's a really interesting book if you want to learn. It's just not for psychologists to learn or get to know. That will help them to help their clients. Lakini hata wewe pia, if you want to learn more about love, then this is a must read, as I said before. So thank you so much, guys. And one thing that you should know ni kwamba love is separateness. As I said before, being able to identify that your partner is a separate entity. And so the act of you nurturing another person's spiritual growth, that is love, right? So yeah, that's just to end with, just to end this episode with that. Let's take time to discuss what do you think. It's an open discussion. Let me know what you think. Is love a feeling? Is love an action? Is love dependency? Is falling in love, right? So let's do this, and let me know what would you like for Mental Glow to talk in the next coming episodes. And also, kama hujasikiliza auja install au hujapakua application ya Ahadi, tafadhali do that. We would really appreciate. It's not just about us, it's about you taking care of your mental health, kwa sababu ina matter. And tunataka kila kijana wa Kitanzania awe na afya bora ya akili. So tafadhali do invest kwenye afya yako ya akili, kwa sababu mwisho siku ina impact every aspect of your life. So thank you so much, and I'm super excited for the next coming episode. I'm also looking forward to so the next episode will be out in December. It's going to be the first episode of December, so I'm super excited for that. And if you have any questions, tafadhali usisite kutuuliza. And also keep tuning in, keep sharing this pod with your friends and your loved ones. And if you want us to improve on something, as I said before, feedback really works. So thank you so much, guys, and looking forward to the next coming episode, where we will dive deep into this about love. And just to be excited, do your research, I'll do mine, and I'm looking forward to learn from you guys too. So thank you so much, and until we meet again, guys, this is to say bye.